Fun fact, I've only seen the first 2 Kung Fu Panda films, but I never saw Kung Fu Panda 3. Why is that, you may ask? I couldn't tell you. I myself don't even know why. However, despite me having a really fun time with Kung Fu Panda 4, I am willing to bet that Kung Fu Panda 3 is probably better to some extent. So Kung Fu Panda 4 is the 4th film installment into the Kung Fu Panda franchise. The film is directed by Mike Mitchell and it stars Jack Black, Awkwafina, Dustin Hoffman, Ian McShane, and Viola Davis. After Po is tapped to become the next spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, he needs to find and train a new dragon warrior, while a wicked sorceress plans to resummon all of the master villains whom Po has vanquished to the spirit realm. When it comes to the Kung Fu Panda franchise, one thing that has always stood out to me were the action and the fight scenes, and in here, the action and the fight scenes are just incredible. I feel like they really experimented with the action, like they took what worked in the other 3 movies and brought it back in here and just kind of amplified it. There is one scene where Po is fighting the chameleon, and I mean, it's in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler, but there is a scene where the chameleon transforms into Po, and the real Po is fighting the chameleon disguised as Po, and during that whole fight sequence, there are some very unique camera shots and camera angles used that really amplified the intensity, and it was remarkable work all the way through. But overall, the action in here is amazing and it is very well executed. But along with great fight scenes, you have great animation, and the animation in this film is by far the best looking Kung Fu Panda film in the series. Now, is it better than the Spider-Verse films as far as animation goes? No. And that's okay, because I'm glad the animation in this film is not trying to be like the Spider-Verse. It's its own unique thing in a way. Even though the Spider-Verse films have set the bar high for animation, still, I appreciate Kung Fu Panda for not following the footsteps and doing its own thing. But overall, the animation in this movie is solid and clean. Now, as far as the returning and the new characters, for the returning characters, I mean, obviously, without a doubt, we all love Po, we all love Master Shifu, and of course, we love Mr. Ping and Po's biological father. The returning characters are all fantastic. I feel like that should not come across as a surprise, especially when it comes to Po. Po is really the heart and soul and the comedic relief of this entire film, because there is no Kung Fu Panda without Po. And there also is no Kung Fu Panda without the Fast and the Furious. There is no Kung Fu Panda without the Furious 5, whom I will get into very soon. And of course, the return of Tai Lung is always a treat. Tai Lung, in my opinion, not only do I think he's the best villain in the Kung Fu Panda series, I believe he is one of the best villains in animation history. Like, yeah. When I first saw that trailer of how they handled Tai Lung, I got real worried. But after I saw the movie, I wasn't mad at it, and I'm just glad that the movie did not go down the route that I thought it was going to. Speaking of Tai Lung, when it comes to the villains, in the Kung Fu Panda franchise, they all tend to be very well written and very well executed. And in here, I love the chameleon. I really loved her villainous nature. I loved her motives. And overall, I think she is a solid villain. Now, some people may question her motives and how she executed certain things, but look, man, at the end of the day, it's a kid's movie, bro. It's not that serious. I like the chameleon. I liked Viola Davis's voice acting with the chameleon. I'm gonna leave it at that. And I did like the story in this movie overall. I won't get into spoilers, but I feel like some people may not like who they chose to be the next Dragon Warrior. I see the potential, so we'll see what happens. One thing in this movie that I really enjoyed, which I did not think I was going to like as much, is the subplot with Po's dad going out of their way to find Po. So you have somewhat of this buddy cop subplot where both of Po's dads are going to retrieve Po to bring him home because they're worried about him. And I actually did not think that subplot was going to be as funny and charming as it was, but that whole subplot was great. Bryan Cranston and James Hong's chemistry was cosmic. Like I said earlier, I had such a fun time watching this movie, and I genuinely would watch it again. And with that being said, there are a few things that I did not like that I need to address. First off, I was not a fan of how they handled the Furious 5. Now listen, they are in the movie, but not as much as you think. And the movie does explain why they weren't in this film as much, which I'm not mad at, but it's kind of like... And yes, I understand they're trying to bring in new characters and create a whole new trilogy in the Kung Fu Panda franchise. I get that. But dude, how are you going to make a Kung Fu Panda movie without the Furious Five? It feels almost unnatural. As far as the dynamic between Po and Zen, I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. So I don't think their chemistry is like complete dog water. But it's like, it's there. I see the spark, but that spark did not ignite into a fire. You know, you ever seen a crackhead outside the local 7-Eleven trying to spark up the lighter? That's what the chemistry is like between Po and Zen. It's there, but not quite. I don't know why I made that example of the crackhead outside of a 7-Eleven, but you know what I'm trying to say. I believe the chemistry could have been executed better. That's all I'm saying. And lastly, I'm not going to lie to y'all. This movie kind of feels unnecessary. Now, I know it sounds like I'm being a bit harsh on this movie, but I'm really not. But I couldn't help but to think, did we really need a fourth Kung Fu Panda? The way I treat Kung Fu Panda 4 is the way I treat Toy Story 4. Like, yes, both films are good, but who really asked for it? But in the end, y'all, Kung Fu Panda 4 is a fun time at the theaters. Children are definitely going to love this movie. And even though I believe that Kung Fu Panda 4, to a certain extent, is rather unnecessary, I still believe that this is a solid and fun entry into the Kung Fu Panda franchise. So, plugging Kung Fu Panda 4. Into the rank system, I am placing this one into the pass zone. But yeah, y'all, that is pretty much my review for Kung Fu Panda 4. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought about Kung Fu Panda 4. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What is your favorite DreamWorks film? Are you waiting on Shrek 5 like me? Whatever you thought, let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you all in the next one.